multitaskers. They can excel professionally while taking care of their families. Every year on March 8th, the whole world comes together to celebrate the excellence that women are. This year, Global Council for Promotion of International Trade, that is GCPIT, and Confederation of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, that is CIMSME, took it upon themselves to plan a celebration like none other. Women in Trade Summit, being held from March 5th to March 8th, is a celebration bringing together 100 global women leaders and 300 exhibitors from more than 30 countries. The recent past has seen a rise in women entrepreneurs and professionals. Our interview series of women nominated for these awards help us delve deep into what makes for a successful women entrepreneur, the challenges she faces, and will help the upcoming and new generation women entrepreneurs draw inspiration and learn a thing or two from these inspiring women. Hello, everybody. I'm Tulika Banerjee, Vice President, CIMSME UP team, and I welcome you all for a crispy conversation with our guest today. There's no saying, not saying actually, we can say that. I was told I'm dangerous. I asked why, and the response was, because you don't depend on anyone. There is no competition if you are manifesting your own lane. You can become strong and powerful and beautiful. And then you don't need permission. You need to lead and change that. The quote, little girls with dreams become women with vision. That is the quote I heard and read somewhere. Little girls with dreams become women with vision. This quotation suits best to our today's guest, Miss Muskan, a beautiful young lady with a vibrant smile that justifies her name. She holds the position of Associate State Convener, WE CIMSME UP, and one of the most promising lady that I've met. Welcome, Muskan.
Thank you, ma'am.
On my personal ground, let me tell everyone that Muskan has been really the most promising lady that we have in our team, and we are very, very, very not only proud, but we are privileged to have you, Muskan. The kind of job and task that you just do for us like this, it's great. You are a genie sometimes. You turn out for us, genie. So Muskan, we will start with you now. I'm handing over the mic to you. Tell us something about yourself, your journey, your life.
I became an entrepreneur last year by starting my own organization that goes by the name Talk Out Initiative. I'm a young graduate, a young entrepreneur. I have graduated from the Warwick Business School. I've also attended institutions like the London School of Economics, the IE Business School, Spain. I have interned with organizations like Vivanta by Taj, the Akshay Patra Foundation, ISKCON, and have worked a couple of projects in event management. When finally, due to my own experiences with mental health, I decided that it's mental health, the industry that I want to work for. And I started my venture last year in April amidst a pandemic. Back then, it was just a page on Instagram and Facebook to allow us to connect with our potential market, to raise some awareness, as well as spread some positivity along the way. But surely, slowly yet gradually, we were able to finally launch our application on both iOS and Android platforms in November. Now, this application is a peer-to-peer support group, as well as offers wellness solutions to the users and basically provides them a more wholesome experience. So during my own undergrad, I definitely battled with different mental, like not illnesses per se, but a poor mental health. Because back then, most of us are pretty not aware of how to handle our emotions. And being someone who's very close with the family and was always with the family to 12 standard, to suddenly step out and move to a separate state altogether to pursue your education, it was tough on me, definitely. Managing things together, coordinating extracurriculars with curriculum became tough. So that led to poor mental health. And that's when I decided that I think mental health is something that needs to be spoken about more. It needs to be brought to the forefront. And the stigma that looms the industry, that looms the topic, not just in India, but globally, needs to actually be broken. Because there are, like, I was fortunate to have a support group around me, but there are so many individuals who continue to suffer in silence just because people around them would judge them, would call them names. So I think Talk Out, the first step towards providing a three-step or three-fold support to the users. And yeah, that's a little bit about me and my organization.
I am pretty much sure that once our audience is going to, hear your story and hear your interview, they are going to move back again. You are very fast, and your profile is so hi-fi and so updated that we need time to slow down, Muskan. We need
Okay.
time to understand what you, and also I must tell you people that she has a very vibrant, what does your this thing to do, that the app that you created, so it's go slow and make us understand what have you created. It's something very new and something very upgraded, so we need to understand first.
So as an individual, I believe that mental health is not a very black and white topic. It's not that either you have an illness or you don't have an illness. Mental health is something that everyone has, and our society is not developed enough to actually understand the importance of mental health. Now, people go through different challenges in life. Each challenge gets tough, especially if you do not have people around you to support you. With my own experiences, I can say that, having someone to talk about it can really help you out. Even back when during undergrad I was struggling, I had my friends and my family to support me. And in that, the friend who, there was this one particular friend who had a similar story like mine, similar experiences like mine, who could actually understand me better. And that is where the inception of the idea came, that why not have a platform which houses different communities and allows users to join those communities. So currently Talk Out has about 35 plus communities with topics ranging from mental illness like anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, to topics including the life challenges that you face, something like heartbreak, career stress, entrepreneurship stress, people living with chronic illnesses. So what this platform essentially does is it connects the people who've been through challenges in the past with people who are currently going through it, thereby ensuring that no individual ever has to be alone in their journey. So this is just the very beginning, since it's just been 3 months since the the platform going on online. So this is the first level of support that we offer to individuals, irrespective of whether you have a diagnosable illness or not. Everyone above the age of 18 is welcomed on the platform in India and globally, to connect with others who've been through the same journey and thereby seek support, grow and learn together, share best wisdom. So that's essentially what Talk Out is all about. I believe that one of the leading reasons for why mental health is so stigmatized is because people don't talk about it, because awareness is limited. So definitely people fear that they'll be called names. Like the recent past has shown us that how people find it very difficult to even believe the fact that someone with a smiling face and with a promising career could actually be struggling, internally and personally. So what I and Talk Out believes is that it is essential to start an honest conversation at all levels, and this conversation has to be at individual level, at societal level, at national level and global level. Because only when we actually communicate and we talk about things will the awareness increase, and will people get to know that mental health is actually a very common thing. I mean, it is just as it's synonymous to your physical health. Just how you have to maintain your physical hygiene, it's equally important to actually maintain your emotional and mental hygiene as well on a daily basis. So the whole idea is to start a conversation through the platform. As the name suggests, Talk Out. So basically it says that you should talk out your feelings and emotions more openly and more honestly. And yeah, that's a little bit about the platform.
Great. So here we have Muskan, who has created a platform uh, pretty much different from the league of business. It is not a business. It will not be called business. It's a service that you are providing for society and mental health, right? So
Yes.
besides this, this is one thing that you are doing. And besides this, there is some app that you have developed. What is that all about?
The app is essentially this again. So basically to start the conversation and to start a conversation on a grander level, it's important that you connect people far and wide. To make that happen, there is this online platform that we're providing through the application in which we have housed communities. So there are 35 plus communities on the platform that allows users from any part of the world to actually join in and connect with anyone from any part of the world, basically. So, like I said, that we need to start an honest conversation. So, I believe that when physical community is, around you is pretty restricted in terms of having limited information and awareness, an online virtual community can really come handy to at least provide you a conducive, safe space to acknowledge your feelings and thoughts and to not suffer with them in silence.
Okay. So you're both the things you only manage. You are the founder of TalkUp,
Yes,
or
yes,
have you joined? You are the
I'm the
founder,
founder and the CEO.
and you only manage the entire thing, the application also, and the entire this setup and organize everything. You only manage.
No, I have a team. So I have a team of developers. Since I'm a management student, I do not know coding. So I have a team of developers and designers who help me with developing the application and are currently helping with maintaining it. Apart from that, I have a dedicated team for marketing as well, because considering we have an online offering, it is very difficult to spread the word around, because we cannot personally connect with any of our customers. So it is important that we have a proper marketing plan in place, for which I have a specific team working on marketing. But definitely when I started as a lonely wolf, and now I've grown and have involved a team and have a team working with me.
Okay. So as you said that it was only you which who thought of this idea, who came up with this idea because of your own experiences. So did at any point of time you felt that ye kaise hoga, how will it happen, since you had nobody else? It's nobody else is from your family has this thing started, right? You are the first person to start this
Yes.
all alone.
Yes.
So kabhi dar nahi laga? Were you not afraid or scared, or how will you do it? How to start something so new all of a sudden all by yourself?
I was definitely very scared, because since I said I'm a recent graduate, so even in terms of having professional expertise, it's very limited. But because I come from a family which is essentially into business, my grandfather, my father, everyone's into business. So you can say business runs in my blood. And although I'm the first generation entrepreneur when it comes to this venture, but I have a very supportive family. Like my mother helps me with finances, and so I mean, my parents have always guided me, during the way and through the entire process. And I've always believed in, learning from experience. Apna haath jala ke aap seekhte ho. So as I have grown, I have learned things. I have also realized what I could have done differently. I used to be, scared and intimidated by challenges, but now I think I kind of love them, and I take them with excitement. So yeah, I mean, I think everyone needs to start at some point, and someday you have to face your fears, and you have to be like, this now or never kind of a situation comes up. So I've always been very focused on the fact that I want to make bring about a change in the society. I want to make a name for myself, become an entrepreneur who's known. So I think that is something that kept me motivated and did not let me give up and made me start this journey.
And what was the biggest challenge that you faced, being all alone and starting all by yourself, and that too at such early age?
The biggest challenge certainly was because I'm bootstrapped, so the budget is limited. Now, technology in itself is pretty expensive. So, making the initial calls as to where you should allocate your budget, where you should not allocate it, where what aspects of the business can you control yourself right now and not, get someone on the team for it. I think that was one of the challenges. The other challenges being that, because, like I said, when it comes to professional understanding, it's slightly limited. So there comes times when I kind of find it difficult to understand finances. But I have a supportive mother who actually explains me everything, very patiently. So she's been helping me through it all. So financial challenge is the only challenge I face, whether it's understanding it theoretically or implementing it practically. Either way, that's one thing, because I'm more creatively driven. So numbers slightly elude me a bit. So that's something that's something that's been challenging for me.
Okay, so your project and the work that you do is sort of, we can say that it's intangible in nature.
Yeah.
It's a service, right? Intangible in nature, not tangible. And moreover, as you said that there is this finance problem that you face. So in coming future, do you look somebody to partner with so that your work gets easy, or you want to do it all by yourself and keeping it under your discretion only?
No, I don't plan on partnering with everyone. I want to keep this under myself, but definitely I plan on going for investments. I have been talking with venture capitalist firms and investors. So hopefully, if everything goes as planned, by the end of this year, latter half of this year, I'll definitely go for investments. So that's how I plan on supplementing my current finances. But no, I would not be partnering with anyone. Investment is the way for me. The proper start of investment is the way for me. Yeah.
Do you see your marriage somewhere near in your future?
Not. I don't think so. Another 2-3 years, definitely no. I've told my parents pretty clearly that that's not happening. So no, not for 2-3 years, definitely not.
Is it because you want to focus on your career?
Yes, definitely. It is because I've always even, like, my parents also asked me that why is it that you're giving a specific timeline, like why 2-3 years. So like I told them, I'm going to tell you that I want to be independent, financially independent, before I actually get married, because I don't want to depend on anyone to bear my expenses. So I think I need 2 to 3 years to ensure that Talkout has strong footing, and that I am financially independent in a place where I can actually concentrate on raising a family. So 2-3 years is the minimum that I definitely need to ensure that Talkout is above its infant stage and progressing well enough.
Now, don't take it otherwise. I'm just pulling your leg, but taking help from your mother is okay. Taking help from your husband would make you dependent on him.
I mean, I know it's not the right way to go about it, but I think I've always, since the pretty young age, I've always kind of believed in. I've seen my mother who's financially independent. I've seen a mother who's very strong and independent, and multitasker. So I think that's where I get it from. That I want to become an independent person. Although I have a father who's very supportive, so I've never seen anyone like putting women down in my family. So it's not that notion, but I just want to be independent before, I settle into a family.
So somewhere in the back of your mind, do you think that marriage can be a hindrance?
I think it completely depends on the kind of family and the kind of partner you get, because I've heard stories about partners being super supportive. My father is an example. My mother finished her education after marriage, even after she had me is when she finished her education, and then till date she continues to work. So she manages home and office beautifully. So my grandparents, her parents-in-law, were very supportive. My father is very supportive. So that is one side of the story, but the other side is also where people are not that supportive. So I think it entirely depends on what kind of family you marry into. It can be both something that adds to your growth or something that pulls you down, depending entirely on the kind of family you land in.
Okay, so do you plan to diversify your business in near future? Now, as of now, it is all about mental health. So apart from that, also you want to diversify or expand?
I would not be changing the industry for sure, but I definitely believe that the market is so dynamic that for any enterprise, any venture to survive, they need to grow and they need to diversify. So I would definitely want to diversify within the industry. So like I said, as of now, we offer only one form of support, which is peer support. In another 1 to 1.5 years, I plan on onboarding mental health professionals as well as psychology students to offer threefold support to every user. Apart from that, a couple of years down the line, another 4 to 5 years down the line, I plan on including AI as well, artificial intelligence, to provide more personalized solution to users. And then as time progresses, I also want to enter the retail market by offering wellness products to users. So I think my inspiration comes from the startups like Swiggy and Nykaa. You know how you say food delivery and Swiggy is synonymous to it. Similarly, I want to see Talkout at that place where Talkout becomes synonymous to mental health and wellness. That we finally start having an open dialogue about mental health.
Great, great. Again, a very powerful sentence coming from a very powerful girl, I would say. You're so small, and that's what make her so special. Very the smallest entrepreneur that we see today that I found, and very vibrant as well. Okay, so what is your greatest your career graph? Abhi to bahut chota hai, you have just started, but still, what would you say is your greatest accomplishment or the relief that made you smile? That okay, ye ho gaya.
My greatest accomplishment was definitely to be named in the edX Live's list of 40 under 40. So edX Live is basically a venture of the New Indian Express, and I was in that 40 under 40 Indians last year for 2020, and this was only when I was, I think, 3 to 3.5 months into Talkout, and back then Talkout was only an Instagram page because we were still working on our application. So that definitely came as a huge validation and a huge motivator that I am on the right path, and if I continue to put in the hard work, this will definitely happen for me.
Congratulations for that. Congratulations for that. That's a great achievement as well. Muskan, you told us that there was a time when you yourself were going, some mental not so healthy this thing issues. Yeah. So how did you cope up with that? What made you come out of that situation? What helped you?
Who helped me? I think it was a bit of everything. I've always believed that unless the person wants to help themselves, nobody around them can help them. So back when I was an undergrad, it was definitely my friend circle there, my family there. I had my aunt there, my parents here. They always ensure that I never slip too deep into the dark. But after my undergrad was over, I had about 6 months before I left for my master's, and like those 6 months, I completely devoted to myself in every which way. I started working out. I started focusing on my mental health. I started understanding what works for me and what does not work for me. So I think it's a bit of everything. It's a bit of the support system around me, and it's a bit of personal attempts and personal efforts that I've put into myself that helped me cope and get out of that situation and get out of that mindset.
Coming out of that mindset or whatever problems you were having, do you think that you have achieved a certain amount of success in your life? Your personal health and personal coming out, personal growth, that also is a great criteria for success. Apart from the, so do you think that is what you say that amounts to success in your personal life?
Definitely, I definitely say that because I've come from being a complete pessimist to a person who's optimistic. I have come from being someone who would not attempt at something just because she was so scared of failures, and who would just assume that she's going to fail at anything, to a person who's actually taking up challenges. So that I mean, although I would never want to go back to that mindset, but I actually have a lot to thank to that mindset, because that has made me the person I am today. And definitely it's a success. It's added to my personality, it's added to my experience, and something that I take and carry forward with me through my journey, definitely.
In your business front, but the Talkout and the app that you are making, how intensely do you rate failure or success for your business in coming years?
I believe that failure in general has been given a very negative connotation. But I honestly believe that failure is a very essential part of your life, because it truly makes you who you are. It's the failures that add to your personality. It's the failures that add to your growth and your success. It's the failures that make your success actually sweet. And failures keep you grounded as well. So for me, I used to be super scared of failures and everything, but now I honestly believe that failures are an essential part of life. And if you fail at something, or if you're finding something difficult, you might not feel it then, but all of that is adding to you in some way or another. And when you grow and when you look at it in hindsight, you're going to realize that it's made you the person you are. And I always believe in time heals everything. So you come out of those failures, you learn your way around it, and you definitely work towards success with even more hard work and with even more motivation. So I feel it's time that we kind of change the meaning of failure from having a negative meaning to a more positive meaning, and consider it an indispensable part of anyone's life and journey. So that's in the coming years, as far as my venture is concerned, I think if I'm not talking from a social perspective, but I rather talk from a completely profitable perspective as well. The more awareness about mental health is created, the more customers like me, like I have a mental health organization. Similarly, there are so many other startups working in the sector. The likes like me will have more patience. It's just how your physical health is. Just how physical health will never stop being a priority for people. The day we're able to spread that awareness, and the day we're able to convince people that your mental health is just as important, that day you're going to have this unending supply of customers. So I don't see the venture failing. I do see it, some aspects of it not working out because, customer expectations change, market changes and all of that, but there are always ways around it. And I think that's the beauty of every startup.
Exactly. But then India, if you especially talk about India, India is not very much open about mental health thing. Right? They find it, they still a very big mass, they find it a taboo to talk about this.
Yes.
They will be suffering. Most of the people suffer with mental health, but they don't open up, they don't speak up, they don't come up to you with their problems. So in that case, do you think that this is going to be a problem for your venture dealing in this field? And how do you think you will cope up with this? You will attract this thing?
It might be difficult. I mean, I'm sure it'll be challenging because, like you said, it's a taboo topic. People don't talk about it. But one thing that I think having an Instagram page has taught me, that people are okay reaching out to strangers as long as their identity is hidden. So they don't want to accept the fact that they're struggling, but they can do it anonymously. They want to reach out, they want to talk, but they need a more anonymous kind of a setup. So currently our application is anonymous. We allow them to use nicknames and we allow them to stay anonymous. So I think that is a step in the right direction. I also believe that just how awareness, information is something that always keeps adding to the society and helps the society to grow. There is Talkout, and there are so many other ventures as well, so many other startups, both profit and non-profit organizations that are working in this sector in spreading awareness. So I think the future looks bright for India. I would definitely expect the government to be a little more supportive, because I think from the government sense, there is nothing much that happens in mental health. No proper records are kept. Nothing much is really happening there. So I think if the government takes this up in its stride and actually works in the sector, then definitely mental health is something that can come to the forefront eventually. And it needs to come to the forefront, to be honest. Like, kab tak silence making people struggle. There has to be a time.
Did you do anything in this lockdown period? You utilized it? Were you able to utilize it anyhow?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely threw me off because the whole development was kind of delayed. But I did start my page online in April. And then I think by May, I had gotten my development team in place and the development had started. So I was delayed by a couple of months, but we were working throughout lockdown. And that is exactly why we were able to launch.
Lockdown was a physical thing, but then what happened in lockdown was that we all went into this digital world.
Yes.
And
yes,
that is where you deal with a lot.
Exactly.
So that's why it wasn't much of a hindrance for that, Aruka.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So at the end, is there any message that you would like to give to the budding entrepreneurs like yourself?
I think one thing I'm going to say is that for most people, entrepreneurship is very glamorized. It is not. It feels amazing when you say you are your own boss, but people don't understand the stress and the struggle that comes with being your own boss, because you have an entire team who's with you, and you have to remember their well-being just as much as you think about your own well-being. So all I'm going to say is that the journey is going to be super tough, and there are going to be people who will put stones in your way, who will be pulling you back. through all of it, I think it's important that you keep your head held high and you just hold on a little longer, because it does get better. It might not feel like it, but it definitely does get better. And this is something I've believed in, that if you work towards money, it will stop satisfying you after a while. But if you work towards a cause, it will keep motivating you throughout your life. So just find a cause and just, kind of devote your life to it and keep walking through it. You're going to lose yourself, you're going to find yourself back again, but you will continue, definitely.
So as per Muskan, it will come, maybe a bit later, but it will come. And if it doesn't come up, then Muskan and her talk out is always there for you.
Yes, definitely.
It was a really good interview. But before going, I would rather, jaldi se play a rapid fire with you. Nothing to do with your business and your entrepreneurship, just your very casual questions. You love it, right? Okay.
Yes.
Choose black or white.
Black.
Oh, you said you are a very optimistic white person wearing a white
Yeah,
suit.
but black symbolizes power. I mean, it's powerful. Like, black is my favorite color.
Then in that case, black or violet?
Black.
And black and red?
Again, black. Black is like the color for me.
Okay. No love, no positivity, nothing. Just black. Power.
Black.
Okay. So, are you a mall person or a flea market person?
I think a mall person. I would love to be a flea market person, but I'm a mall person.
Okay, so you're after brands?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And that's a good thing that you are saying this without any hesitation. Okay, a sweet tooth or a salty taste bud?
I think a bit of both, but sweet.
Ah, you are also a sweet person. Ah, sweetie. You are really a sweet person. Okay, so again, this is मैंने बहुतों से पूछा. If you are going out for a social event suddenly and your hair is oiled, what would you do? Whether you do you shampoo your hair anyhow and then go and or you will leave like that only with oiled hair?
Or definitely shampoo it. No chance I'm stepping out with oily hair. Definitely shampoo it.
Me too. Whether it's odd hours or anything.
Yeah. Anytime I'm going to shampoo 100%.
सड़क पे खड़े होके गोलगप्पा खाना? Yes or no?
Yes. Golgappas are life.
Okay. So we will take your leave now because I suppose it's really high time and it was really nice talking to you. The great motivation that we got from Muskan here, people that no matter what, there is no, first of all, we speak it for, people who are of greater, higher age, that age is nothing, age is just a number. Because we are passing that. But here, it is just the opposite. Age is actually a number because you can start at any age. Who can think that a small girl like Muskan herself can do such big things? I, being a traditional person, I am very much paranoid about these technologies and digital. I may not understand all these things, but then she is so trust me, she is in UP team. I also belong to UP team. We have seen her work. She is just amazing in her work. She just there's a quotation where it says, if you want to say something, ask a man. If you want to do something, get it done. So ask a woman. So she is that lady. She is that girl. You say something to her and she just makes it happen. Great going, Muskan. We, with all the good wishes, shubhkamnaएं, and all my hearty good wishes coming from the core of my heart for your future in life. And there is one small, instead of you giving message, there's a small message that I would love to give. That's what I extracted from you is that don't consider marriage as a hindrance. Sometimes it comes out to be a beautiful thing which adds colors to your life, which supports the vision that you have. So let it take your own time. I'm not after your marriage like aunties, but then don't run away from it either. So for now, I'm taking hats off to you and taking a goodbye, signing off from today's session. And this was Tulika Banerjee, this was Muskan Karanwal, and we'll see you some other day with some more powerful interviews.